All right, so I'm going to start with our leaderboard as we always do. We have Donnie C. with 1 application for 276. We have Reeve I. with 1 application for 588. We have Cliff J. with 1 application for 600. Sylvia S. Good to see your name back on here, Sylvia. 1 application for 648. We have Tisha R. 2 applications for 715. We have Nadia M. with 2 applications for 1,073. We have Jennifer C., who is a new writer with us. These are her first 2 applications for 1,000. Jennifer, I'm calling your name now. Jennifer C., 2 applications, 1,082. Kayla R., 2 applications, 1,157. Sarah Z., 2 applications for 2,142. We have Dawn T. with 3 applications, 2,288. Janine A., 4 applications for 2,803. Chantel W. with 7 applications for 9,632. And myself with 13 applications for 12,775. 775, sorry. So our total is 13 writers with 41 applications and 37,779. So a good week. That's 41 people better covered than when we met with them. So good job. And appreciate all of you going out and doing that on the weekly basis. No better way to get better in this industry than to work. The person who works and keeps going grows. So, Chantel, have I got you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Paige.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, we had wanted to kind of continue our discussion about goals that we started last week. We did really want to help everybody, especially since we have so many new people, making sure that you guys were thinking long-term in terms of annual and then monthly and breaking that down to weekly and then turning it into actionable items. So we kind of want to have a chance to hear what everybody has come up with for their own. So, Sarah, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I knew you were going to start with me.
Yay! You're psychic.
Something like that.
All right. So tell us a little bit about, what last week's call kind of maybe helped you with something you maybe hadn't thought of before, and then a little bit about your goals.
So one of the things that struck me last week was, and for me, it takes going through something for me to actually get it through my thick skull. I hate to say it that way, but one of the things that I wrote down that Paige said was that if it's not written down, it's not a goal. And I tend to think that I'm going to remember things down the line, and I don't. So this week was a good reminder that, hey, listen, I need to write things down. So my goal for this year is I'd actually like to have $240,000 in business issue paid. That breaks down to about $20,000 a month, and then it breaks down to about $5,000 per week. For me, my actionable items is making sure that I have enough leads every single week. So right now I'm focusing on the final expense leads just because for me they're a little bit easier to get to. But I also know that I need to incorporate the mortgage protection leads as well. So my goal, my action plan is to have at least 25 to 40 leads every single week that I'm calling and making sure that I'm running at least 4 days out of the week. And for those 4 days, I'm wanting to have at least 8 to 10 appointments. so that I can get as many apps in and get them submitted, because I do know that the business is going to fall off, some of it. But the more leads we have, the more appointments we have, the more applications we have.
Absolutely. You just summarized it perfect, Sarah. And if I could ask a question, you said 25 to 40 leads.
Mm-hmm.
Are those new leads per week on top of, the inventory of people you didn't get from the week or so before?
Yes, and it's really going to depend on how many people I was able to set the appointments and sit with. If I've seen a lot of people and I'm writing a lot, then I'm obviously going to be getting more newer leads. But if it's people that I'm having to chase, I'm doing door knocking because they haven't answered my text or my phone calls. It really will depend on how many people I saw that previous week.
Gotcha. Well, I think and I wanted to make that distinction because, you could buy 100 leads maybe, from the second chance inventory, right, at a minimal investment, and you could call on them for a week, and you could still have 25 to 40 leads left, but those leads are not technically new to you that second week.
Right.
So you'll hear in a lot of our training, those of you that went to conference, you heard everybody talking about the importance of new leads to you every week. And Chantel, do you want to add something about that?
I was going to hit on that exact same thing because I was just having a conversation with a couple people that are on my Merch Madness team, and, they might have had a goal of setting 20 appointments, but then they only had 20 leads. It's like, well, you're not going to book every person. So if you want to book 20, 25 appointments, you got to make sure you've got 30, 40 leads minimally. So that is crucial in this business to make sure that you keep the flow going so that you have fresh people to call every single week.
Absolutely. And it doesn't mean you don't keep calling the ones you couldn't get. I saw a post on Facebook, I think it was last week, and it was talking about some study somewhere where they're saying it takes between 6 to 10 attempts to contact somebody to get them and to get an appointment. The funny thing is the night before, I was listening to what I refer to as an old training call. And by old, guys, I meant 4 years ago when Family First Life first started. And Matt Smith actually stated that same statistical fact. So, one thing I had kind of been hesitating on is if I had texted a lead and they didn't respond and I'm going back through, I had hesitated on texting again. But after hearing that twice in 1 week, I just keep texting them. So you never know. But Sarah, this is really good. I feel like, now did you actually write these down this time?
I did. And I actually, one of the things I had, I've been using the Facebook Final Expense leads through Jeremy Cordovana. I think I'm saying his name right. And I've actually been seeing quite a bit of success that way, but I also have to make sure that I'm continuously getting new leads every single week because you're right. It's even though you're texting or calling the old ones or the I don't want to say old, but they're a little bit older, I'm making sure that I'm getting more each week just because I know that I need to have that flow going. But, yes, I've got them written down, so I'm good to go.
I love it. All right, awesome. Thank you, Sarah. See, we chose well. You did great. All right. All right. Now, I'm going to call on somebody I know has them written down because, boy, we have texted about that, and that would be the one and only Miss Donnie Cannon.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning. I know you've written them down. We've talked about that many times.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I have certainly written them down, and I know when we spoke about it earlier and was one of the things that I said I wanted to do was get better with selling annuities. And I think what it was with my goals, they was just so broad. So you were saying just make them measurable. If you want to sell more annuities, just say, hey, I want to sell $200,000 a year in annuities. So that was one of the things that you really helped me with as far as, because I had of course, like you, the daily affirmations. I was attending all the training sessions and become a top producer. But my thing was to just bring it into measure. You was letting me know to bring it into measurable amount. Bring it all the way down so that I can see. Okay, like Sarah said, hey, I'm gonna do quote X amount of dollars as opposed to, hey, I want a fat bank account, which is one of my goals too.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't think anybody on here wants a thin bank account. We all want a thick one. Yes, ma'am. All right.
So that is one of the things that I've been working on, just, putting it into measurable terms that I could see, just like you said, setting the appointments and making sure I got this amount as opposed to saying, hey, I'm going to do this appointment. Said, hey, if I'm going to do 25, say 25. Write it down, which mine's all written down. iPad everywhere.
Okay. And then, Donnie, you just made a good point. Guys, I have a couple different things that I do in the morning for my mindset routine, and I actually have one journal that literally the only thing in it are my goals. And it goes back 2 years ago. I think I started it 2 years ago. And if I find that I'm losing some focus, I will pull out that journal and I will sit down and I will rewrite my goals again. You'll hear a lot of trainings. Grant Cardone, for one. That man's crazy, but he has some good points. He literally, one of the first things he does when he rolls out of bed is pulls out a notebook and writes his goals again every day. So there's no way you're losing sight of them. So the fact, Donnie, you've written them down in multiple places is awesome. And that's a point I don't think we made last week. Hopefully that may help somebody. Do you have an issue paid goal for the year?
Well, actually, being that you said to make it measurable, I just had fat bank account. But I did go back and said I wanted to have an issue paid goal of $100K this year.
Okay. And have you broken that out down to months and weeks?
Well, I haven't really did the math on it, but in my head I have. But that's something that I got to write down too, as far as like Sarah said, you got to take into account the no-shows and other things that life throws at you. So that's one of the things that I got to take into account. Okay, I got to write this much this week to have $100K for the year.
Okay. Well, I just divided that by 12, and it's like 8,333. So you should probably round that up to about 8,500 as a monthly goal.
Okay.
And let's divide that by 4. And you guys know I'm using my calculator because the math is that comes to about 2,083. So I would round that up as well to about 2,500. That'll help a little bit for anything that gets declined or falls off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And then, yep. All right. So that's very good. Thank you, Donnie.
You're welcome.
Chantel, anything to add or go with Donnie there? Anything that stands out?
No, honestly, I think she's got things pretty well. I love that you got it written down several places because people do tend to forget. And I think seeing is a reminder. And a lot of times, I'll write some stuff down in my bathroom, so that when I'm getting ready in the morning, I can see what I've got there, as well as having things on my desk and on my laptop. So I think what you've got is great.
Yep, very, very good points. And I tend to have them everywhere. I have my affirmations in my bathroom. I have them in my car. I have them at my desk. I have them on my phone, on my laptop. But you know what? I'm thinking maybe I should put my goals right with them. keep it forefront. So I'm not just doing the affirmations. I'm focusing on what I need to make into actionable items. All right. So how about Kayla next?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to start by saying that I'm just listening to everybody's goals and kind of hearing the numbers this morning. For the last couple of weeks, it's been kind of slow and a little hard on me, especially with, the end of the month bills coming along. But hearing everybody else always makes me feel better. So I do really appreciate these calls. And so as far as my goals go, it's been something that I've spoke with Chantel about on numerous occasions and about the give and take that it takes to actually get those goals. So I do have them written down. It's something that I actually filled out the financial goal worksheet when I first started doing FFL that's online. And so it was more of like, how much do I need to make instead of how much do I need to write? And so I know I spoke to Chantel. I'm going to make about $6,000 a month. And so based off of that information, Chantel was telling me I need to do about 60 to 75 leads a week. Now, right now, that's not something that I've been able to afford yet. I've only been able to afford about 20 leads a week, and I know that's why my numbers are small, because it's just, it's all a numbers game. I've read that if you are hearing enough yeses, it's because you're not hearing enough nos, and I really, really believe that. And so I'm also revisiting all the leads that I have from the very, very beginning, from mortgage leads that are going on a year or older, and then going all the way, back to the first Facebook leads. I'm constantly recycling these leads. In fact, a couple of my appointments last week were from the very beginning leads. And it's just because I'm not giving up on those. So what I'd really like to do is $20,000 issue paid a month. Right now, I'm way behind that, so I've kind of said it like, let's start with 10. But my big goal is 20. And so I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get my lead sources, which I've been kind of exploring other options for that to make sure that I don't have stagnant leads. But that's pretty much how I've been trying to do it now. And I was with another company, and so I've switched to full-time FFL, which I could see it in this week because, I had 6 appointments on Tuesday, and I had 5 appointments on Wednesday, and so of course all of them didn't show up, but the point is, there's no way I could have scheduled that many because of the other business and everything that I had going on. So I'm already seeing the potential, and I know that it's going to be there. It's just a matter of putting in the work and the time that has to pass.
Okay. Listen, I'm impressed, and I think that, first of all, switching to full-time with us, clearly I'm biased, but in all reality, if the other opportunity wasn't offering the same thing to you, why would you put your time and your energy into it? So right. I think that's a huge step towards gaining traction, gaining momentum, and getting closer to the success you're looking for. So I applaud you for making that decision. The other thing I want to say is when I got started, Kayla, I couldn't afford a lot of leads either. We came into this with a desperate financial need, and I had people helping me, and I'm thankful to this day, and I've done my best to pay it back and pay it forward every which direction. But I was like a pit bull with a stake when it came to a lead. Dom used to say I milked my leads, and it's because I really had no other choice financially. So I would keep going through those leads. I would door knock them, and I used to say it a lot that I swear some people actually bought from me, Kayla, just to get me to quit calling them. So, and if
that
I
would be
met
nice.
with them, Seriously, I think they were like, this girl's never going to stop. Let's just buy this so we don't have to talk to her anymore. And that was okay with me. Their family got covered, and and I got a commission, which meant I could buy more leads. So it's pretty funny how it can work. Now, it's not the ideal situation to be in, but the main thing is for you to make the best of what you can do, and really working and not giving up on those leads, because the other aspect of it is that's a family that has asked for help, right? And
right.
If you just give up on them, you might be the only person that ever comes to help them. So if you give up on them, what happens when, one of them passes away? So, when you look at it that way, it makes it even more important, guys, that we don't give up on the old ones. Doesn't mean you don't want to have, like Sarah mentioned, that 25 to 40 new leads a week, somewhere in that range. Chantel is the absolute master at really kind of helping you figure out how many leads. So if anybody is struggling to know how many, I really do recommend you call her. I can help, but she is way better at it because that's a numbers thing, and it might take me 2 days to do all the calculations. She'll help you right away. Right, Chantel?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's good at that. But I'm impressed, and I think we're going to see a lot of growth from you. And Chantel, how about you with Kayla?
Yeah, no, Kayla and I've talked numerous times about like lead flow and what you have to do for numbers, and she's on the right track for sure. And guys, I don't know if you've ever watched the video that James Ware has out there about dialing the $1, $3 leads, but I mean, if you haven't, you should, and give it a try. You do have to be on the phone longer, but now that you're full-time, Kayla, you have more time. And it's
right.
probably going to, like, if you spent, like, a few extra hours on the phone instead of, like, in the building trying to get to all the employees that you were doing, you're probably going to see that you'll get more appointments. But you are going to have more leads of those and more time on the phone. It is going to take you more, but it's less expensive. So
right.
it's an option out there.
Yeah, I do get alerts for those leads, that pop up in my county, and so I'm always getting emails for when there's new ones popping up. So I do utilize those as well, but I probably could utilize them a lot more than I do.
Okay.
And guys, that's a bigger return on your investment when you sell those. And Chantel, was that the video that we had on the WhatsApp? Or is there another one?
No, I have not watched the one on the WhatsApp. I know there's a few phone calls out there that he's done. So
okay.
There might even be one that's included on, I think it was mailed. It might have been mailed out, something that Melissa mailed out to people, like some videos that people have done, some calls. So
that is really valuable. And
yeah.
So I will actually reach out and see if I can get hold of those, in which case, and email out to everybody. A lot of you gave me your emails last week. Thank you. If I don't have your email, if you put it in the WhatsApp, because I'm going to create a group distribution list so we can send you guys these things. So be sure you do that. All right, we're going to try to squeeze in 2 more before we hang up. So I'm going to go to Nadia next. And Dawn, I'm going to give you a heads up. You're after her. All right, Nadia, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. So tell me about your goals.
My goals, I have not written them down. And I don't know. I mean, I know why. I just haven't written them down. I have them in my head. I know what I want to do. And I actually started this week executing them. I was making excuses for myself. I was finding other things to do instead of doing what I was supposed to do. I was also getting my mind correct, I guess you would say, grasping and recovering because conference was very overwhelming for me. I learned a lot, but it was overwhelming. So what I did this week, I just stopped making excuses and picked up the phone and dialed, bought some new leads, and set appointments. And went on one the other day that was very successful. I had a couple of appointments yesterday, and just started doing what I know how to do, that I know how to do, which is dial the phone, set appointments, and actually go run them and execute them and close them. And that's what I've done the past couple of days, is just go out there like I'm supposed to and run. So I know what I want to do, which is about 200,000. But I have not calculated, but I know I need to run at least 20 appointments a week, and I know I need to write between 7,000 and 8,000 a week, and that'll make the money that I need to pay my bills and pay for my leads. So that's what I've done actually this week, and just continue and not overwhelm myself right now. So that's why I haven't written down.
Yeah, everybody, is in a different place. And so thank you for being honest about where you are. But I'm glad to see that you've been kind of working through it mentally and getting back to it, because, action will help you overcome those dips in the roller coaster, right? So, but what I would like, Nadia, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a homework assignment. I've never been a teacher before, but here you go. I do want you to actually write them down. And how about you shoot them either by email to me and Chantel, or by text, whichever way is easier. Because I think once you do that, it makes it really real. And by emailing them to Chantel and I, it gives you an accountability factor. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Okay, and guys, we're going to go a couple minutes over because I actually want to get Dawn, and then I'm going to get Tisha. So we are really cognizant of your time, so I'm going to apologize, but hopefully you are all finding this helpful. And for the people I'm not getting to, if you haven't done this yet, I think you should, because I think what you're going to see is the numbers of everybody we've actually spoken to are going to increase next week because they are now focused on this. All right, Dawn, let's make it short and sweet, but give it to me, girl.
Good morning, Paige. Good morning, everyone. My goals, I kind of wrote them out last year, right in like December or something. Just like Nadia was saying, in the beginning, I kind of made excuses and found other things to do and getting in my own head and kind of counting myself out already before I really put forth the effort. But recently, like especially after convention, I really got serious about it. And my goal this year is to hit Hall of Fame, and I kind of broken down the next 8 months how much I need to do on a monthly basis, and how many apps I should write, and how much I need to issue pay per week. And, I want to grow my business and have agents working with me. So I've just been kind of mapping out, the next steps and how to get everything done in the next 8 months.
All right. I like it. And
so I have a code.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a coat, and I guess I should start wearing my coat in the when it's snowing outside like it is now. So I won't be sounding like this.
We need to stay healthy, guys. Be proactive about that. It's hard to work when you're sick. Yes, Dawn, take care of yourself. All right, and we will break yours down into further detail. I know we've done that some on the phone, but we'll keep going. All right, thank you for that, and do feel better. All right, Miss Tisha, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. It's great to hear your voice. I've missed you since conference.
Oh, I miss you too. Good morning, everyone. So my goal is 200,000, and the last call I heard you do the math, so I did the math, and so when I did the math, it broke down to $4,167 for the month. But I also know that, and I talked to Chantel about this last Saturday when I went to dial, that I need to shoot a little bit higher. because kind of when you shoot kind of low, sometimes when you get close, you get kind of lazy. So I want to shoot for 5 to 10, but I know where I need to be. And also, we're already into March, so I know it's going to have to pick up. But, the 4,200, I would say, is good for me to start as a goal till I start, picking up and being consistent.
Awesome. And you know what? Having that goal, Tisha, having it written down and doing like Donnie said, having it in multiple places will help you stay focused on that. And that in and of itself will help your mindset, which can help your activity. Because that's what's critically important about all that. I have no doubt that you can do it. No doubt. You've got a great personality. You care for people. And I think we can say that, Chantel, about everybody we have on our team. And that's important. That's one thing we can't train. We can't train you to have the heart to go out there and care about the families you're sitting down with and want to put them in a better position. That's something you have to come to us with. And I'm thankful for all of you because I feel like all of you do have that quality. And the rest we can train, and you can work, and you can learn, and it's all achievable that way. So, Tisha, that's awesome, very awesome. And I know you and Chantel are going to be breaking down, like, how many leads and things like that and affordable ways to get them. So that is great. And I feel free to shoot me updates on how that's going for you. I'd be very excited to hear. All right, Chantel, anything you'd like to add? I feel like this was really good. And, again, I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody, but I hope you all found it helpful.
I think, let's just keep going, because I know that we both have new people that are, either waiting to get licensed or they haven't really been out in the field yet. So if you haven't had a chance to express your goals, I know it really helps to verbalize it, say it out loud to other people, hold you accountable. So if you haven't said it, we will bring that up at another call when we get some other people that we want that also have to do that. So don't worry, guys. We want to do whatever we can do to help you guys get where you want to go.
Absolutely. And, hey, another thing, guys, for the ones of you that we didn't get to on today's call, you can feel free to put them out there on the WhatsApp. And then you can get some feedback from that. We may ask you questions and make sure you thought through them. So that's not a bad venue to put them out there either. So I know, Jennifer, you're brand new. The goals, we did talk about that last week. I think you may have been on. Charles, we didn't get to you. David, a few others on here. Please put them on the WhatsApp so that we can see what everybody is aiming for. And that way, Chantel and I are best able to be of assistance in any way we can when we are aware. So as always, guys, we really appreciate you taking time, and I appreciate that extra 5 minutes. Hopefully these calls continue to be helpful. We are always open to suggestions on topics that you would like training on, so do not hesitate. You can put those in the WhatsApp, or you can text or email Chantel and I, and we will make it happen. Absolutely. So make it a great week. Don't forget, all of you that somehow ended up in our wonderful, quirky, Chantel and I don't understand it, March Madness contest, to work hard. The one thing we have figured out is we just need to write a lot of business and win. Right, Chantel?
Yep. Not quite sure what the buy and the C's and all that stuff means, but
we're just going to work hard.
I think what it means is you just got to go out there and issue pay a lot, and whoever gets the most wins. So that's what we're going to do.
There's apparently some cash, and there's dinner and time with Sean Mike in a small group of 5 or 6 people. So, guys, it's worth it. So get to it. And if you didn't get on the contest but you're interested in being added, text me, and I'll see. They've got a few open spots, and they're adding a few extras. So, let me know if you want to be part of that if you weren't on the original list. All right. Look forward to hearing from you guys this week, and shout out any way we can help. Have a great week.